Part 1. I died on my 45th birthday. Alone in a rundown apartment, my body too weak to even call for help. The cancer had spread too far. Stage 4. Inoperable. The doctor had said I had 6 months, maybe a year with treatment. But treatment cost money. Money I didn't have. Money my family refused to give me. We can't afford it, Lily, my mother had said over the phone, her voice tight with annoyance. Your brother just bought a new house. The mortgage is expensive. We need to help him. Mom, imding, idewisparat. Please. I just need. You're so selfish. Always thinking about yourself. Your brother has a family to support. A son to raise. You're just one person. The line had gone dead. That was 3 months ago. The last time I spoke to any of them. As I lay dying in that cold apartment, I thought about my life. 45 years of sacrifice. 45 years of being told I wasn't enough because I'd been born a girl. I'd dropped out of college so my brother could attend a prestigious university. I'd worked 3 jobs to send money home while he partied his way through grad school. I'd given up my dreams, my savings, my future. All for a brother who never once said thank you. And when I needed them most, they abandoned me. My last thought before everything went dark was, if I could do it all again, I would choose myself. Then I opened my eyes to my childhood bedroom, age 15, the morning of the day that changed everything. Part 2. I sat up in bed, heart pounding. The faded flower wallpaper. The cramped room I'd shared with my grandmother before she died. The sound of my mother's voice downstairs, sharp and commanding. Lily, get down here. We need to talk about your future. My future. I knew exactly what this conversation would be about. This was the day my parents sat me down and told me I couldn't go to the prestigious high school I'd been accepted to. The one with the advanced placement program. The one that had offered me a partial scholarship. Because my brother needed tutoring to pass his entrance exams, and they couldn't afford both. In my first life, I'd cried. I'd pleaded with them to reconsider. Then I'd accepted it. Because that's what good daughters did. They sacrificed for the family. They put their brothers first. Not this time. I got dressed slowly, deliberately. I looked at myself in the mirror. 15 years old, still full of hope and potential. Still believing my family loved me. That girl was gone. In her place was a woman with 30 years of painful memories and nothing left to lose. I went downstairs. My parents sat at the kitchen table with my brother Kevin, who was 13. He didn't look up from his phone. Lily, sit down, my father said. I remained standing. What is it? My mother exchanged a glance with my father. We've been thinking about your education. The high school you want to attend, it's very far away. The commute would be difficult. It's 40 minutes by bus. I already planned my route. That's not the point, my father said. The point is, we need to think about the family's resources. Your brother's entrance exams are coming up, and he needs intensive tutoring. So let him get tutoring, I said calmly. My mother blinked. Excuse me. Kevin needs tutoring. Fine. Get him tutoring. But that has nothing to do with my school. It has everything to do with it, my mother snapped. The tutoring costs $500 a month. We can't afford that in your bus fare and your school supplies. My school is offering me a partial scholarship. I'll work part-time for my other expenses. You don't need to pay for anything. You're 15 years old. You can't work. I can and I will. There are plenty of weekend jobs I can do. Retail, food service, tutoring younger kids. I'll manage. My father's face darkened. This is not up for discussion. We've made our decision. You'll attend the local public school. It's perfectly adequate. For some students, maybe. But I want more than adequate. I want excellent. And I earned that spot at the advanced school through my own hard work. Lily, don't be selfish, my mother said, her voice taking on the manipulative tone I knew so well. Your brother needs support. He's struggling. Then maybe he should study harder instead of playing video games all day. Kevin finally looked up from his phone, his face flushing. Shut up, Lily. Make me. My father stood up abruptly. That's enough. You will do as we say. This family needs to support Kevin. Why? I asked simply. They stared at me. Why does this family need to support Kevin more than me? We're both your children. Why do his needs always come first? Because he's the son, my mother said, as if this explained everything. He'll carry on the family name. He'll support us in our old age. No, he won't, I said quietly. You think he will, but he won't. He'll take everything you give him and never look back. Trust me on that. How dare you speak about your brother that way? I'm going to the advanced school, I interrupted. I've already accepted their offer. I'll pay my own way. You don't have to contribute a single dollar. But I'm not giving up my future for Kevin's convenience. The silence that followed was deafening. Then my father said in a voice cold with fury, if you defy us on this, you're not our daughter anymore. I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw a man who had never once asked me what I wanted, what I dreamed of, what I needed. Okay, I said. My mother gasped. Lily, if supporting your son means abandoning your daughter, then you've already made your choice. I'm just accepting it. I turned and walked back upstairs, leaving them stunned in the kitchen. Part 3. The next few weeks were brutal. My parents alternated between ignoring me and lecturing me about family duty. My brother taunted me at every opportunity, calling me selfish and spoiled. Extended family members called to scold me for being disrespectful, but I didn't back down. I got a weekend job at a local bookstore. The owner, Mrs. Chun, was a kind woman who'd raised 3 daughters herself. Good for you, she said when I explained my situation. Too many girls give up their dreams for ungrateful brothers. You stick to your path, Lily. Education is something no one can take from you. I worked every Saturday and Sunday. I saved every dollar. I took the bus to the advanced school and threw myself into my studies. And slowly, something unexpected happened. I made friends. Real friends, not like the ones from my previous life who drifted away as I became more isolated and focused on supporting my family. There was Amy, whose parents were immigrants and who understood family pressure. There was Jordan, who came from a single-parent household and had been working since age 14. There was MS. Martinez, my math teacher, who saw potential in me and encouraged me to apply for advanced programs. You have a gift for numbers, she told me. Have you considered studying finance or accounting? In my previous life, I'd never gotten the chance to consider anything. I dropped out of school at 16 to work full-time and support Kevin. I'd like that, I said. Then let's make it happen. Part 4. While I was building my future, Kevin's life was falling apart. Without the expensive tutoring, he failed his entrance exams. Without me as a safety net, he had to face the consequences of his own laziness. He ended up at the same perfectly adequate public school my parents had wanted me to attend. My parents were furious at me somehow, as if Kevin's failure was my fault for not sacrificing my own education. If you had just helped him study. My mother started during one of our rare interactions. I was never asked to help him study, I said calmly. I was asked to give up my entire future, so he could have private tutoring he didn't even want. There's a difference. You're tearing this family apart. No, I'm just not holding it together anymore. There's a difference. At 17, I applied for early admission to a top university with a full scholarship program for high-achieving low-income students. I got in. My parents found out through an extended family member who saw the announcement. My mother called me for the first time in months. You got into state university? Yes. That's wonderful, Lily. Her voice was strange, almost wistful. We should celebrate. Come home for dinner. No, thank you. Lily, don't be like that. We're proud of you. Are you? Or are you just realizing that I might be successful and you push me away? Silence. If you need any help with expenses, my father's voice came on the line. I don't. Full scholarship. Room, board, tuition, everything. I did it myself. Lily, please. We're still your family. You disowned me when I was 15 for choosing my own education. You don't get to claim me now that it's convenient. I hung up. Part 5 university was everything I'd dreamed of and more. I studied finance, joined investment clubs, interned at prestigious firms. I built a network of mentors and peers who valued competence over gender. I graduated summa cum laude at 21. I had job offers from 3 major financial firms. I chose the one with the best reputation for promoting women to leadership positions. Meanwhile, Kevin barely graduated high school. He went to community college for a semester, dropped out, and bounced between part-time jobs. My parents, who had invested everything in his success, were baffled by his failure. I heard about all this through Mrs. Chun, who remained my friend and mentor. She kept me updated on family gossip without pressuring me to reconcile. Your mother came into the store yesterday, she told me during one of my visits home. She looked tired. Asked about you. What did you tell her? The truth. That you're thriving. That you're successful. That you did it all without their help. How did she react? She cried. I felt a pang of something, not quite guilt, but not satisfaction either. Just sadness. Sadness for what could have been if they'd valued me as much as Kevin. But I didn't reach out. They'd made their choice. Now they had to live with it. Part 6. At 25, I was a junior partner at my firm, earning more money than my parents had made in their entire careers combined. At 23, Kevin was living at home, unemployed, with a gambling problem he developed in his early 20s. The calls from my parents started coming more frequently. Lily, we need to talk about your brother. I blocked their numbers. They showed up at my apartment. Please just listen, my father said. Kevin owes some dangerous people money. We've given him everything we have, but it's not enough. How much? I asked. $52,000. I let out a low whistle. That's a serious gambling debt. We know. That's why we're asking you. No. My mother's face crumpled. Lily, he's your brother. He's your son. The one you chose over me. The one you sacrificed everything for. This is what that sacrifice bought you. You can't be this cruel, my father said. He could get hurt. I was hurt. For years. I was abandoned, dismissed, and treated as less important than Kevin. Where was your concern for me then? We made mistakes. My mother began. Yes, you did. And now you're living with the consequences. Just like I had to live with the consequences of being born a daughter. Please, my father said, and I saw something I'd never seen before, him actually begging. We're sorry. We should have treated you better. We should have valued you. But please, don't let our mistakes destroy Kevin. I'm not destroying Kevin. His own choices are destroying him. Just like your choices destroyed our relationship. We'll pay you back. With what? You have no savings because you spent everything on Kevin. You have no assets because you remortgaged your house to pay for his failed business ventures. You have nothing to offer me. We're family. No, I said quietly. Family supports each other. Family values all children equally. Family doesn't abandon their daughter when she's 15, and then come begging when they need money. You're just people I happen to share DNA with. I closed the door on them. Part 7. Kevin's situation got worse. The gambling debt collectors came after my parents when Kevin disappeared. They lost their house. They had to move into a small apartment in a rough neighborhood. Extended family members called me, trying to guilt me into helping. They're your parents. They raised you. They raised a son. I just happened to be there. You're being vindictive. No, I'm being consistent. They taught me that some children matter and others don't. I'm just applying that lesson. The calls stopped after a while. Even my relatives could see that my parents had made their own bed. Meanwhile, my career continued to flourish. I became a senior partner at 30. I bought a beautiful apartment. I traveled the world. I dated, made friends, built a life full of joy and success. Everything my parents had told me was impossible for a daughter. Part 8. When I was 32, Mrs. Chen called me with news. Your mother collapsed at the grocery store. She's in the hospital. The doctors say it's stress-related, heart problems, high blood pressure. Your father is with her, but, Lily, they don't have insurance. They can't afford the treatment. And Kevin, no one's seen him in months. I think he left town to avoid his debts. So the son they'd sacrificed everything for had abandoned them. How ironic. Do you want their room number? Mrs. Chun asked gently. No. Lily. Mrs. Chun, I appreciate you keeping me informed. But I made peace with losing my parents a long time ago. They made their choices. I made mine. They're your parents. And they're suffering. So was I. For years. And they watched it happen. They caused it to happen. Two wrongs don't make a right. I'm not trying to make anything right. I'm just refusing to make it my problem. There was a long silence. Then Mrs. Chun sighed. I understand. I don't agree, but I understand. After we hung up, I sat in my apartment, looking out over the city lights. I thought about my mother in that hospital bed. My father, probably sitting beside her, wondering how they'd pay the bills. I thought about the girl I'd been in my first life. The one who'd sacrificed everything and died alone, penniless, with no one who cared. I thought about the woman I was now, successful, independent, whole. And I still didn't call them. Part 9. 2 months later, my father called from a number I didn't recognize. Lily, please, don't hang up. I should have. But something in his voice made me wait. Your mother is dying. The doctors say she has weeks, maybe days. She wants to see you. Why? To apologize. To make peace. Please, Lily. She's your mother. She stopped being my mother when I was 15. She made that very clear. We were wrong. We know that now. We destroyed our relationship with you for a son who abandoned us. We ruined our own lives chasing some outdated idea about family legacy. We were fools. Yes, you were. Will you come? Not for us. For yourself. So you don't have regrets. I don't have regrets, I said. I only regret wasting the first 15 years of my life believing you loved me. We did love you. No, you didn't. You loved the idea of a dutiful daughter who would sacrifice herself for her brother. You never loved me as a person. You never saw me as equal to Kevin. You never valued my dreams or my potential. You're right, my father said, his voice breaking. You're absolutely right. We failed you in every possible way. But your mother is dying, Lily. Please, give her the chance to say she's sorry. I closed my eyes. In my first life, I would have run to them. I would have forgiven everything, paid all their bills, sacrificed my own well-being to care for them. That Lily had died alone with nothing. No, I said. I'm sorry she's dying. Truly. But I won't come. Tell her I forgive her, if that makes her passing easier. But I won't see her. Lily. Goodbye, Dad. I hung up and blocked that number too. Part 10. My mother died 3 weeks later. Mrs. Chen called to tell me about the funeral. It's small. Just a few relatives. Your father. No sign of Kevin. I'm not going. I figured. But I wanted you to know. Thank you, Mrs. Chen. For everything. For being more of a parent to me than they ever were. Oh, honey. Her voice was thick with emotion. You deserved so much better. I know. That's why I chose better. The day of the funeral, I was in a board meeting, presenting a major investment strategy. I wore my best suit, commanded the room, closed a deal worth millions. I didn't think about my mother's funeral once. That night, alone in my apartment, I finally let myself feel something. Not grief exactly. More like closure. The girl who desperately wanted her parents' approval was finally, truly gone. In her place was a woman who approved of herself. Part 11. 5 years after my mother's death, I was CEO of my own investment firm. At 37, I was one of the most successful women in finance. I'd built a life I was proud of. I'd mentored dozens of young women, helped them navigate careers in a male-dominated field. I'd donated to scholarships for girls from low-income families. I'd used my success to lift others up. I'd also reconnected with some extended family members, cousins who'd reached out over the years, who apologized for not supporting me earlier. We didn't understand, my cousin Linda said over coffee. We were raised to think sons were more important. It took us years to unlearn that. I'm glad you did, I said. Better late than never. Do you ever think about your parents? Sometimes. Usually when I'm mentoring young women who are facing the same pressure I did, I tell them my story. I show them it's possible to choose yourself. Do you regret not reconciling? I thought about it. No. I gave them 18 years to value me as much as Kevin. They never did. I don't regret protecting myself from people who hurt me, even if they were family. That's fair, Linda said. For what it's worth, I think you made the right choice. Part 12. 10 years after my mother's death, I got a call from a hospital. Is this Lily Chen? Yes. We have a patient here, Kevin Chen. He listed you as his emergency contact. He's been in an accident. I'm not his emergency contact. Try his parents. Oh wait, they're dead. Then try literally anyone else. I'm not coming. Ma'am, he doesn't have anyone else. He's asking for you. Not my problem. I hung up. The hospital called 3 more times. Each time, I refused. On the 4th call, a different voice came on the line. Miss Chun, I'm Dr. Rodriguez. I'm calling about your brother. Not my brother. We share DNA, that's all. I understand you have a difficult relationship, but he's dying. He has liver failure from years of alcohol abuse. He has days, maybe hours. He's conscious enough to talk, and he keeps asking for you. What does he want? To apologize, I think. To make peace. He had 30 years to apologize. He never did. Ms. Chun, I've been a doctor for 20 years. I've seen a lot of people die. The ones who die with regrets, with things left unsaid, it's harder. Not just for them, but for the people left behind. I don't have regrets. Are you sure about that? I was silent for a long moment. If I come, I said slowly, I'm not promising forgiveness. I'm not promising money for his treatment. I'm not promising anything except to show up. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Part 13. Kevin looked terrible. 40 years old but looking 60. His body ravaged by years of addiction and poor choices. He looked up as I entered, and something flickered in his eyes. Recognition. Shame. Relief. Lily, he whispered. Kevin. You came. The doctor was persuasive. He tried to laugh but ended up coughing. When he recovered, he said, I'm dying. I heard. I don't have long. Days maybe. Okay. I wanted to tell you. I'm sorry. For everything. For taking everything from you. For never appreciating what you gave up for me. For being a terrible brother. I didn't respond. Mom and Dad, they ruined both of us, you know? They put all their expectations on me, and I couldn't handle it. I never wanted the pressure, the attention, the responsibility. I just wanted to be a normal kid. That's not an excuse for how you treated me. I know. I was cruel. I went along with it because it benefited me. I could have stood up for you and I didn't. I'm sorry. Okay. That's it. Just okay. What do you want me to say, Kevin? That I forgive you? That we're good now? We're not. You and our parents took my childhood, my education, my youth. You took everything and gave nothing back. An apology on your deathbed doesn't change that. I know. But I needed to say it. I needed you to know that I know how badly I fucked up. Fine. Now you've said it. I turned to leave. Lily, wait. I stopped but didn't turn around. You were right, Kevin said quietly. That day when you told Mom and Dad I wouldn't take care of them. You were right. I took everything and gave nothing back. Just like you said I would. I know. How did you know? I finally turned to look at him. Because I lived it before. In another life, I gave you everything. I sacrificed my whole life for you. And when I was dying of cancer, alone and broke, I called Mom and Dad begging for help. They said no because they'd just bought you a house. Kevin stared at me. That's oddly specific. That's because it happened. Just not in this timeline. You're saying you what? Traveled through time. I'm saying I got a second chance. And this time I chose myself. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm successful. I have a life I'm proud of. Everything our parents said was impossible for a daughter, I achieved it. Everything they promised you would achieve, you didn't. Kevin was quiet for a long time. Then, I'm glad. What? I'm glad you chose yourself. I'm glad you didn't waste your life on me. You deserved better than what our parents offered. Better than what I took from you. Yes, I did. Will you, when I die, will you come to the funeral? No. He nodded slowly. I understand. Thank you for coming today. It's more than I deserved. Yes, it was. I walked out of the room and never saw Kevin again. Part 14. Kevin died 3 days later. I didn't attend the funeral. I didn't send flowers. I didn't acknowledge it at all. Some of my relatives called, scandalized that I'd skip my own brother's funeral. We're family, they said. You should be there. Family supports each other, I replied. Family values all members equally. Kevin was never family to me. He was just the person my parents chose over me. I hung up and blocked those numbers too. That night, I went out to dinner with friends. Real friends, people who valued me for who I was, not what I could give them. You okay? Amy asked. She'd been my friend since high school, one of the first people to support my decision to choose myself. I'm great, I said and meant it. No regrets about not going to the funeral? None. I said goodbye on my terms. That's all I needed. To Lily, Jordan raised his glass. The woman who taught us all that family is chosen, not obligated. We clinked glasses and drank to freedom. Epilogue, the legacy. At 45, the age I'd died in my first life. I stood at a podium addressing a room full of young women. My name is Lily Chun, I said. And I'm here to tell you that you don't owe anyone your dreams. I told them my story. Not the rebirth part. That was too strange to explain. But the rest. The family who valued sons over daughters. The choice I made at 15. The years of struggle and success that followed. They told me I was selfish, I said. They told me I was destroying the family. They told me I would fail without their support. They were wrong about all of it. Choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's survival. And sometimes, the family you build is stronger than the family you're born into. After the speech, dozens of young women came up to me, some crying, some angry, all of them recognizing themselves in my story. My parents want me to drop out of college to support my brother's business, one girl said. Don't, I told her. Your education is yours. Guard it fiercely. My family says I'm being disrespectful for wanting a career instead of getting married. Your life is yours. Live it for yourself, not their expectations. One by one, I looked these young women in the eyes and told them the truth their families wouldn't. You matter. Your dreams matter. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for anyone. Later, as I drove home through the city I'd built my life in, I thought about my parents, my brother, the family I'd left behind. In my first life, choosing them had killed me. In this life, choosing myself had saved me. And if I had to make the choice again, I'd make the same one every single time. The end. Author's note. This story explores the pain of gender bias in families and the courage it takes to choose yourself over toxic family dynamics. Lily's journey isn't about revenge. It's about refusing to be diminished. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away and build a life that proves everyone wrong. You don't owe anyone your dreams, your potential, or your future. Not even family.